Hello and welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you a solo gameplay of Dieson Crusoe, which is currently available over on GameFound. This is the solo game of the month. They're doing one solo game every month throughout the year of 2024. Last month's game looked awesome. This month's game is, would argue, a Friday competitor, like a Friday killer. Friday's another one of these survival deck building style games. Here in Dieson Crusoe, as the name suggests, we're going to be using dice to take a variety of actions around multiple different rondel systems in order to accomplish one overarching quest. Shira lost the introductory scenario.
No, I didn't quite finish the introductory scenario. I chose to keep my husband company while he teaching him.
I successfully built myself a rope.
You did.
Hunted
a deer.
A wild antelope. And, of course, survived 6 total days. I would have died eventually, but we have went ahead and moved forward to quest number 3. These can be played in order, allowing you to have a bit of a narrative story. They also could be played like we're doing, where you just kind of hit the objectives and do your best to survive and make it off the island. We are doing a paid preview or a paid how to play. We're doing a single piece of sponsored content for Dieson Crusoe. That'll be coming out later this week is the intention. This gameplay and final thoughts or gameplay and overview is... First impressions is a extra piece of content we're doing because I think solo players, above most other players, like to see a game in action and like to see people horribly lose at said game because they can then do it better. I know whenever I watch someone play a solo game or a cooperative game, if they lose by the end of it, I'm like, oh, I can see where they...
I don't actually play solo games.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Which is why we're doing this together as a 2-player experience. 2 brains are better than one when the first brain is nearly incontinent and the second brain is most probably a genius. Shall we begin? Do you want to give a quick overview of how we play, like what people are seeing out here on the table, and then we'll just get started?
So we have 2 maps going out here on the table. On the first map up here, we're going to be exploring the island and moving from place to place, location to location. Those are going to bring out different area cards, which will affect raids or what we're have the availability to hunt. The bottom here, you see our day tracks. Every quest is going to have a certain amount of days you have to complete it in, otherwise you do not accomplish that quest. Down here is the main board where all the actions are going to take place. There's going to be 3 times of day where you're going to take actions. The first is sunrise, the beginning of the day, where you're going to roll your dice, then you're going to move the event tracker because something's always happening on the island. Then you're going to go to midday where you're going to be taking your actions. You're going to be using those 3 dice and moving around this rondel, taking various actions which will be accruing resources, hunting the various creatures of your area, building roofs and fences to protect yourself against the wild animals. And then finally you go into nightfall where you're going to have to eat to survive. You're going to see what the weather was for that day. You're going to see if you're facing a raid for the animals inherent in that area. And then you're going to reset and move on to the next day and rinse and repeat.
One of the very interesting things that I like so far about Dieson Crusoe is the fact that the weather die and the raid die are controlled a little bit by the game board, but also primarily controlled by how and the order that you use your dice. So you have a lot of say over what's going to happen to you throughout the course of this adventure. Bad things are going to happen, but you at least get to have a bit of voice in it. Now, for any of you that are thinking Jesse has quite the list or is doing funny things with his mouth, I am experiencing one of the most extreme springs I think they put in people's mouths. Monday, which is tomorrow, I will be going to the orthodontist. We should be changing stuff up. We're moving forward with the progress. It's going well.
He loves it.
It's just one of the worst experiences I've had in my 30s.
Kids get braces when you're young.
Or like mid-teenager level, I think is the appropriate time. All right, shall we
get started?
Play the game. Shira, go ahead.
Roll the dice.
And roll the dice. All right, I have a 5, a 1, and a 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in order of their hierarchy. I could, if I had any stone available, go ahead and spend that stone to re-roll all those dice. I don't. There are a few other dice mitigation factors that we'll talk about as we continue progressing with the game. One important thing to note, we're going to have an ebb and flow between using and utilizing this gray die. The gray die is going to be able to go backwards on our rondel when we're deciding to take the actions that we want to take, but you're only going to get that every other round. So in this, we need to go ahead in 12 days What is our objective? We have to
move to the southern tip of the island, which is going to be down here, which is where we have to tame/make a dog. And if you see over there, there's a watchdog.
Yeah, so we have to go ahead and pursue the watchdog. Hopefully we'll be able to get there, but we have to do that in 12 days, which means throughout the course of the game, I'll only have 6 total actions with this gray die specifically that lets me move backwards.
You additionally can also move backwards with a 1. So if you have a 1 that's yellow, or yellow for now, then you can also move that back 1 step.
Not as controlled as you'd like, though. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and progress this track forward. We're going to get 1 food, 1 little banana there on this icon. This track does get worse as the time goes on.
There's some good things. There's mostly bad things on this island.
There's mostly bad things. Bananas, of course, are food. You're going to use those to survive throughout the course of the game. They're going to be mitigating some of the health damage that you might take, but they also can be utilized to add or treat a die as if it's 1 higher number. So now I think is a good time to talk about all the actions on our rondelle and the way that we calculate our stars or our effectiveness at whatever action we have.
So there's going to be 9 different actions on the rondelle. Some of them are star dependent and others are independent. I'm going to go through the independent ones first. So number 2, you can either get a banana, a wood, or a stone. You keep track of your resources down here, and all the resources have mitigating factors. You can build a fence with a stone and a wood, and that will build you 2 fences. You can do the same thing with roofs. A hide and a wood will build you 2 roofs, and those are the 3 actions that are star independent. Otherwise, the stars are going to be determined by the value of your dice with this table in the middle, and based on every action is how many stars you have. So if you used a 1 die, you have no stars and actions virtually worthless. And if you have 2 or 3, etc., etc. So here's movement. Based on your how many stars, you're going to look at your map and you're going to be able to move that area. Your stars have to meet or exceed the amount of stars you're trying to traverse over, and there's ways to increase your star temporarily by 1. You can gather stones per star, you can gather wood per star, you can hunt. Hunting is an action that's going to take into your strength of your character that you're playing as, which is also where your health comes into play. You're going to add that plus the stars plus any tools. There's going to be ways to create tools which is going to generate you more strength or better hunting capabilities throughout the game and help other actions as well. The resting area where you get to sleep, you get to generate health per star, and food per star.
Yeah, so
star, I said so many times there. Wow.
Low numbers are valuable because they don't create catastrophic effects later on in the game, but higher numbers are where you're actually going to be getting all the resources. So the game actually self-balances itself pretty darn effectively. We are playing as a craftsman who gets an extra star when it comes to a build action, which is required on some of these. You can see the star requirement at the top, along with the resources that we're looking for. And I have 3 actions I could take based on the dice that we have. I could either move forward and take an action on the rondelle. Again, following the movement rules, any color die can go forward. A gray die or a 1 die could go backwards. I could go ahead and do a crafting action if I had the necessary resource and stars to do that. Or I could just move my friend Tom up by 1 level. He is going to be actually giving us some dice mitigation, I believe, or is that an extra die?
He's going to be giving us extra
a
actions.
2 or a 4 dice to use.
And it doesn't cause us to move around the rondelle. We just get to take any action at that value.
Now, there are a variety of friends. There are also a variety of craftsmen. So depending on how you're playing the game or who you're playing the game with, you will have some asymmetry in that as well. So going ahead and taking our first action, the options we have that are the most obvious are collect food, but that's not going to do very well. Go ahead and collect any 1 resource, which would be fine. 2 would go ahead and get us 1 stone. And 5 would allow us to hunt, which might be an early game advantage. Right now, we'd be sitting at 2 stars, and that's all we need to actually take out a little rabbit. And hide is one of our more valuable resources to use. You need it for a lot of the crafting gear you have. Question is what is the order that I want to do these in? I want to use the 5 first because it's not going to create any ripple effects for the weather or for the raid. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to hunt. Calculating my stars, I have 2. I have no bonuses. I have 1 bonus because of my guy, but no other bonuses on the table at the moment. So I have 3 strength against a cute little rabbit. We are going to go ahead and grab 1 food shira and 1 hide.
Yes, we are. I was actually just looking at the board and trying to calculate how many steps it's going to take to get there. At the minimum, we have to move every other turn, and if we take the longer way around, we have 8 steps to go. So we're looking to move pretty consistently throughout
in
this.
12 days. Yeah, we've got to continue pushing forward.
That's why I was spacing out a little bit. But good job with the hunting.
So we have to keep pushing forward while gathering resources. I could move forward 2, which would give me health, but I don't need any health.
You're at your max health, so there's no point. You can't go over it anyways.
I could move forward 1, but that's just going to give me wood. I might want to push Tom up, though. So the question is what else do I want to use either of my dice for? If I move forward 2 now, they're both going to stick me.
So you can go backwards to generate wood. If you use one of the food to increase it and then get a wood, and then you can go forward 2 and create two roofs. 2 roofs.
Maybe that's a good idea. I like that order of operations. All right, Great Eye is going to push us backwards. Remember, I'm listening to the woman who lost catastrophically. She didn't really. She gave up. Moving back, generating a single wood because I have 1 star there.
So we used one of the food to temporarily increase the die because it was a 1 up to a 2, so that we would have a star, and then that was where we were able to get 1 star, 1 wood, which we put up here.
Now the other things that you can do to mitigate your dice, your leather could be used, or your hide could be used to move up your friend's marker. Your wood could be used to move your meeple 1 space forward or backwards.
As many times as you have that resource.
Your food allows you to treat a die as if it's a higher number, but that doesn't affect how far it moves. It only affects how it reacts to this top chart. And our stone, of course, could re-roll. Finally, you could lose a health, if necessary, to do either of the wood or food actions, move the die, or move your person.
Health is going to be a very important commodity, though, as you get farther into the game. And then we're going to do the 2, which moves it ahead 2. We're going to spend that hide and that wood that you so carefully generated and put 2 roofs into place.
Okay, but
roofs are helpful with weather.
But we have failed to move forward on the actual game board.
Yes, that's
might
true.
Be a problem. All right, night phase is going to come. This phase, we're going to follow this little rondelle here. We're going to be reducing food or hunger by 1. We're going to go ahead and check for the weather die, which corresponds to the track up top here. 1 and 2 is a sunny day, no problems. 3 and 4 is 1 roof being destroyed. 5 and 6 are 2 roofs being destroyed. So we have a little bit of a breather, actually, which might help us. And then we're going to be moving our raid die off. If we had a 5 or a 6, our raid would correspond to the location we're in or whatever animals that might be attacking us. Rabbits are one of the most vicious animals in existence, which is why I'm surprised the game didn't actually reflect that in the brutality of their raid. Mm-hmm. They just steal 1 banana.
Yeah. Then we're going to shift these dice down. And this is where Jesse was saying the order of how you use your dice is important, because if you use your higher numbers later on, then you will have an increasing likelihood of a raid or bad weather.
And of course, we're going to be moving our time marker forward. This chart will also have some things that happen, mostly regarding moving your weather or your raid die forward a bit. We got a 2, a 5, and a 6. That's going to move the dial by 2.
This is going to increase our raid dice by 2.
Moving up to a 4, which does not mean we're triggering anything yet, but we are very close to.
Yet.
So,
right.
A 3 is the obvious number that we're looking for, which we don't have.
Mm-hmm. We can do the 2 and temporarily increase it. We don't have much wood right now.
We don't have any wood at the moment. So let's see. If we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, we would be able to get stone or build fences.
We
Stone
have
is
no
the
wood
most
to build
valuable.
the fences.
I understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would put us there. I'm trying to figure out how to go around the track in a way that would get us to the movement, because, like you pointed out, we do need to start moving pretty efficiently. Let's go ahead and start by using this 5, or the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, the 5. To go ahead and do the stone. The stone is going to go ahead and generate us 2 stone total. We could spend a food if we wanted to generate 1 extra stone. But, well, the stone knife would be what we'd be able to receive for that, which isn't necessarily the worst.
Stone knife helps us with hunting. It'll give us an extra hide every time we hunt. Hide is useful for a lot of things. However, if you look up here, the rope is a prerequisite for these 5 more cool items. A regular knife, which increases your strength, and moving, you have an additional star. Moving's not as important. All the areas that we need to get to at least are at max 2 stars. The flag is... Ooh, interesting. I don't actually know what that action is. This is going to trigger with that lightning bolt space, and then it'll happen at nightfall. This will increase our wood collection. So, some resources. What do you think?
I like the idea of a stone knife because it gives us more hide, but I'm not I'm not entirely sure. I mean, going down the rope pathway might be the best bet, because this might... I don't actually know. I like the idea of a stone knife.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I am going to go ahead and spend the food to raise our...
To have raised it to the 6, so that we have 3 stars. So therefore we've created 3 stones. Okay.
So we've created 3 stones, and now I could go ahead and spend the corresponding 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was the 5. The 6,
oh, I could go ahead and spend the corresponding 6.
If you spend the 6...
We have the roofs necessary to deal with it, so it's not going to be too big of a problem. I could spend...
The 6 goes over here, which would get us 3 food, which we are running low on food. I think that's valuable to take.
Okay, I wouldn't be able to build the stone knife right now. So you think just hold off on the stone knife for the time being? Oh, we get +1 star, so it's actually easier to build the stone knife than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and take the 2 food, or the 3 food.
Well, I was also going to say, then you can use the 2 to move 2 spaces, and then we can shift it back 1 to move if you wanted to move 1 space and get a food.
We would have to spend health to do that.
True.
I'm not as interested in that.
Okay.
I'm going to move 2.
And you're going to craft with your last one?
I'm going to craft with my last action. We have +1 star because we have the craftsman, and we're going to be bringing the stone knife down.
That's going to cost the 2 stars and then the 3 stone. And now we have an increase in strength, and the hunting action will always get 1 extra hide.
Because hopefully we're going to be moving into the deer and bear populations soon, and we're still going to need to be able to rip pieces off of their bodies. So,
okay.
We will get there eventually. All right, moving down to the night phase. We're going to be spending a food.
Yep.
That's going to be coming off. We're going to be going ahead and checking for weather, which is not going to do anything, and we are not going to be triggering a raid. So right now we're safe, but we can already see next turn we have a minimum of 2 roofs that are going to be costed, and we do have the resources to pay for that. A 6, 6, and a 4. So that means Shira is setting us up for failure.
You're welcome.
What are you checking for?
I wanted to see what those items did. I was going to check up what those the items did that trigger on this lightning space.
Oh, the flag and the trap?
The flag and the trap, and the blueprint triggers with this red dice that I've been playing with. So.
Alright, so I'm thinking of definitely using a 6 right at the get-go because I do not want to deal with weather or raids. So if the 6 goes here, we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could get health back, but I don't really need health. I could manipulate my movement by 1 by spending a health, possibly. 4 would have let me go hunting. But then I would be setting myself up for a terrible storm and a terrible raid. And neither of those seem profitable.
You moved ahead 6?
Yeah, I mean we could go ahead and go hunting. If we went ahead and went hunting.
What'd you do with the 6?
I moved already.
And then what are you doing on this space? I'm so confused.
I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
I'm talking through what's happening. You were reading the rules. You were doing a good thing.
I figured out what goes on these spaces.
Yeah.
So with this trap and flag, if depending on what the die number is on this space, you get a benefit. So if the die for the flag is a 2 or 4, you get to move your friend disc up by 1.
Cool.
The trap, if it's a 3 or 5, you can. It looks like
go ahead and generate food.
Get rid of 1 food to generate
food and leather.
Food and leather. Yep.
Cool.
So they kind of combo with each other. Yep.
I don't like doing this, but I think I am going to do this. Oh wait, well I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could also go 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will let me build roofs. That doesn't help me. 4 forward seems like the best bet, although it's going to set us up for a bad round next turn. But 4 forward is going to go ahead and let us fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting is going to go ahead and let us harvest from the rabbit.
We need to move.
We will get 1 food and 2 hide. I know we need to move. We're not getting what we need.
Did we advance this last round?
We did not. No.
Okay. So the raid dice increases up by 1.
Okay.
And you said we get what? 1 food and.
No, 1 food and 2 hide. So we are sitting with a little bit of hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stone, and then I think we can move the next turn. No, stone won't get us there. We'll spend a health to move the next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continuing around the track, we're going to go ahead and gain 3 stone. And then I am going to go ahead and manipulate us a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to push us forward by 1.
With our health?
With our health, so that we can go ahead and move on the track up top here. And we're going to be moving from one zone to another zone. We are going to be gaining a food, because that's what we're landing on. And
we're still in rabbit zone.
We're still in rabbit zone.
Rabbit country.
We're at least taking steps forward. You want to go ahead and do the night process?
Night process is going to be very vicious. Did we do this with the... You took the punishment with the die from up here, the 4. Did we take this 4? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Probably not.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. The weather die would have increased.
It's already maxed up.
Okay. Because that was the lowest. So we had 4, 6, and 6. All right. So nothing happens with this die, but we do need to eat a food. And this die is a 6. We're going to lose 2 rooftops. It'd be bad if every time a blizzard we lost just the roof.
Would be terrible.
And the 3 does not trigger a raid. However, next round we are going to have 2 roofs missing, and we're going to face whatever raid. It's almost beneficial to stay in rabbit country because the raids get worse as the animals get bigger.
For one cycle.
Mm-hmm.
The deer we already are aware of, though. The deer is going to cost us 2 food, so as long as we have what we need to mitigate it, that won't be too bad. So we shifted those
down. Advanced day marker. It's day 4. And now rolling these dice.
Very aggressive dice roll.
1, 4, and a 5.
We can re-roll if we want, so let's take a look at the board here. 1, 4, and a 5. I don't mind the lower numbers because we're going to be able to control for weather and raids moving forward, and right now we're going to be in a bad spot. I do want to go ahead and build some roofs if we're able.
We have to either build roofs. Yeah, we have to. Otherwise,
so,
we're not going to survive.
I think this is the marching orders. We're going to put the 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go and gain 2 wood from that.
4 gets you 2. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go ahead and move 2 with the 1 die
and
by spending 1 of these wood.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and craft 2 roofs by spending a wood and a hide. Which those are going to be wiped out this turn, but that at least gives us a little bit of breathing room.
With our health.
And then the 5 would allow us to gain 2 stone if we wanted. We could potentially manipulate.
Stone.
I know, we could manipulate that with our health. There are other things we can build with stone. There's not a lot that we can build with stone. The fire would be very nice, but
I almost think we should use the 5 to just increase our friend. Like, I don't see us needing, and then we get a 2 and a 4 eventually.
Yeah, but I mean, you're wasting 2 full dice to get a 2 sometime in the future. It's not terrible, but it's also not.
This will, if we land on this, we increase our. What was the? It was a 1 here. We got food from this.
Okay. Oh, I mean, we definitely don't need the 5, and we really probably can't spend health to manipulate much more.
Is there anything else we can craft with current?
Not really. No, we need wood right now.
Yeah.
Is the thing that we're lacking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving around that rondelle. We are going to be suffering another raid after this. We'll use that to push our friend marker up by 1. And that's it. Let's go ahead and process. So
okay, so we eat a food over here.
Gray comes off.
Then we are going to have 2 roofs go bye-bye. And then we are going to face a raid. In the rabbit area, we are going to lose 1 food.
They're going to viciously maul us and steal a ham sandwich out of our hands.
And we are going to shift these dice downwards.
We know a raid is going to be coming.
The track, the raid is going to tick up by 1, which is fine because
we already had it there.
We have safe weather coming up.
And we need to move into dog country.
We do. We have a 3, 4, and a 6. What does the 3 get us on this track? 1, 2, 3. We would lose 2 food. I mean, not great stuff happening, but
I mean, a 4 would be preferable. Do we want to spend a stone to try to re-roll it, though?
We have so many extra stones at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that now, but eventually we're going to need them.
Yeah. Let's just lose 2 food. 1, 2, 3. 2 food gone. Alright, those are our dice.
We're good at hunting, so when the time comes, we can hunt pretty effectively. I kind of want to start with the 6 to give us a little bit of respite from the weather and from the raids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would give us food.
It also, backwards will let us hunt.
Backwards will let us hunt? I don't mind that at all.
Then we can use the 4 to go ahead.
So 6 going
Correct.
down.
We were at stone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Hunting.
6, and that puts it on the first one, which allows us
1 food, 2 hide.
Yep.
And then 4, we're going to go ahead and move forward.
Yep. Which allows us to move. 4 generates us 2 stars, which will allow us to move into deer country.
And we'll get a wood.
Get a wood, which is a valuable commodity. Okay, the new area is going to be deer. Hunting strength required is 3, and then we'll get 2 food and 3 hide because of our bonus with our stone knife. The raids, however, which will be triggering this round, we're going to lose a fence, which is where we have no fence, or 2 food.
Yeah, I think we're going to spend the 3 to go ahead and just move right down here. We'll spend a stone and a wood. We'll go ahead and build 2 fences because of that.
Okay.
And at least we're going to be protected for a round.
Yeah.
Okay, we moved that. We moved all of this.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to eat a food over here. Then we are going to trigger weather. Weather is gorgeous and sunny today. Raid is going to lose us 1 fence. And then we are going to cycle these down. Move the day tracker up to 6. The raid goes up by 1, up to 4. And do you want to roll these dice?
3, 4, and 5. We could do a reroll.
3 will take us up to the weather dice, increasing by 2, which will trigger 2 bad roofs. Whereas right now it's just 1 bad roof. 1, 2, 3.
So maybe this is a reroll?
This might be a reroll.
Okay, we'll spend a stone, reroll them all, or keep the 5?
Keep the 5. Reroll the 3 and 4.
We have a 3 and a 2. So the 2...
2 we can either...
We'll lose a fence and a roof.
Or a roof. And a roof.
No, it's a fence and a roof.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a health damage, and we're going to lose a fence.
We've been doing okay with our health so far. 1, 2, and then 2. 2 will let us hunt. It would only give us 1 star, and we have 1 strength over here, which is another star, and we have a strength. We would equal the strength of 3.
Yep.
2?
Yeah, we'll put the 2 down. We'll go hunting.
Unless there's a better way to use the 5 first and get the 5 out of the way.
The 5 would just be food. I think hunting is worth it if we can do it.
So
hide is extremely valuable.
So 2 food and 3 hide. We should start crafting things to augment our actions now that we have a good stockpile.
We're still very behind on wood, though.
Are we?
Yeah,
okay.
that's the biggest problem that we have.
Yeah,
is that
we
we're
need
not.
To keep moving.
We could get a blueprint, technically. What does the blueprint do?
Let me find the blueprint. Immediately place the red die set to a value of 6 on this card, and during the afternoon phase, any die on this card can be exchanged for an unused dice. So you start out with a 6 temporarily, and then you can just change them out.
Do you always get the 6?
I don't think it resets to a 6. I think you start it with a 6, and then you can exchange it out. It doesn't
Is it just
specify.
one? Is it just 1 die?
Here's the... Immediately place the gray die set to value 6 on this card. Any die can be exchanged for the unused dice.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't know if that's necessarily worth it. The fire will decrease the weather by 1. But it requires a lot of wood.
Yeah, we don't.
We need wood.
We don't have the wood necessary. We're going to go ahead and attack this guy. It's going to.
I mean, using the 3 and the 5, taking around will take us to the wood. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Well, we're attacking this guy right now. So we get 3 hide and we get 2 food.
I already gave it to us. The hunting action?
Okay.
Yeah, I've given it to us. We have to equal the 3 strength, which we calculated that we did. So now, do we want to go forward 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get 1 resource and then go 1, 2, 3? Or do we want to go 1, 2, 3?
It's one resource either way. It's best for us to get more wood. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and grabbing 1 food, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grabbing.
I think spend that food.
2 wood, but we'll spend a food to manipulate the die
to make it 3 wood.
To get 3 wood.
You spent how much food? That was
it's
all.
Only 1.
That was all food, wasn't it? Wasn't that 4 food down there?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
That's what I'm.
2 more.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bad stuff happening.
Yep.
I don't know if we can survive. Can we survive this? 1 food, weather die, We have no fences or rooftops.
Oh, we do need a single roof for that.
So I got rid of that.
And then this is not going to trigger.
That's fine. I thought both of them were going to trigger.
We're going to be potentially in trouble this next turn.
Yes, we're going to have a raid and weather dice. Alright, I took away the food, we did the weather, we did the raid, we shifted them down. Days going up. Weather die increases by 1.
Wow.
4.
What a roll.
Wow.
I think that's potentially a re-roll.
6. It doesn't give us anything bad on this event track.
Yeah.
And it's all 3 stars. I would disagree. 2, 6. It sets us up for an interesting round the next one because you're saying they're all 6s.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could do a very good health.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not going to be worth it. So we'll go ahead and start with a very... Oh, we got to use the gray, though. With a very nice health buff. So we're going to be going up by 3 hearts total.
And our max is currently 5, so that takes us up to full health, which is wonderful. And then 6... now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
A wood
6.
collection action.
We are always using wood, so I think that's worthwhile to get 3 more wood.
Okay, and then the question is, what do we want to craft now? Because we have basically all the resources necessary to craft. We're going to take some damage, but I think that's almost worth it.
Yeah, I think 1 resource is not as worthwhile. So, unless we wanted to use 1 wood to mitigate it back and take a movement, would get the wood back. Is it better to make 1 more step? We're on day 7. We only have 5 more days. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to move every single round moving after that. What do you think?
I don't like it.
That wasn't the question, my dear. That was not the question.
I mean, are we just going to try to race it to the dog? Is that kind of the game right now?
We have to build the dog.
Dog is 3 food.
Mm-hmm. Food is not an issue.
We are a little bit stronger. I mean, all right, let's give it a try. So 6 going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to spend the wood to back the heck up.
And we're going to move down here, which is going to get us that wood back.
We're not in bear territory yet, though.
No.
1 more cycle will get in bear territory.
Alright. Now let's trigger bad stuff, which lose health. So, eat a food. We're going to need to hunt next round. Then 4, weather, we're going to lose 1 health. And then raid is going to lose us a fence, which is another health. And then now, next round, we're going to lose 3 health. So we will die next round if we don't manage to build some stuff.
Okay.
Day marker increases. All the dice are going to go up by 1. Raid and weather, they're already at max. And let's reroll these dice. A 1, 3, and a 5.
A 1 is nasty.
Yeah. We don't have too much stone.
Did we spend the stone to reroll? No, we didn't actually. A 1's going to do 2 damage to us, though, right now. I think you reroll that 1.
Okay, spend the stone.
2 damage is...
Keep the 3?
Yeah, you can keep the 3.
Okay.
Ugh.
Still 1.
Okay. Put those up there. We're going to take 2 damage because this is going to move asking for a roof and a fence.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what do we do?
The 3 would give us start. We have no stone. 1 plus a wood would take us here, but that's not enough to actually generate a worthwhile amount of stone.
One would give us a single stone.
1 would give us a single stone.
I mean, we really need to heal if we can, almost.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would take 7 to get there right now, so we don't have numbers that add up to 7.
1 could also go backwards.
1 could go backwards. That's true.
Doesn't
If 1 goes backwards, is there anything we want to build?
We don't have...
Do we want the bed? It'll give us a health immediately, increase our max health, and when we go to the...
Sure. We go backwards here.
1.
It doesn't give us a star, but we do have 1 star from building. We'll build the bed, which, like you said, is going to go ahead and give us
2.
1 health. It'll increase our star success rate for sleeping.
Okay, so that gives us 1 health immediately.
And raises our total health, technically.
Our max health.
Then we'll go 3 to go ahead and grab a single stone. We could manipulate that with a food if we wanted. It would give us 2 stone. I don't think that's worth it, maybe.
And then we're going to be, if we don't have the food to eat, we're going to lose a health here.
Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that takes us up to 3 health. We're going to be...
We didn't move, though.
We didn't move. No.
And we've got to keep pushing forward. Okay.
All right. So,
Eat
eating our last food.
Yeah.
We didn't hunt either. 6 is going to trigger 2 health because we didn't build rooftops. And this is going to trigger a raid. We're still in... It's almost, I think, better that we didn't move to Bear Country. Bear Country is 2 or... Yeah. Bear Country is worse. That's what we're anticipating. So it's almost better we didn't move into Bear Country knowing we were going to trigger a raid. I did not take off. We had 5 health. 1 for the raid currently, which is 1 fence. And then shift these down. Increase this, which is going to increase both dice by 1. That's going to take up to a 6. It's going to trigger, and this is going to still keep it in that 3-4 area. And then we are going to roll these dice.
Okay.
And we still need to heal. A 5, and a 4.
4 is going to trigger our raid by 2. It's not the worst,
fine.
but we miss all the good benefits that we could go across.
2, 3, 4. I don't want to waste our stone to re-roll that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would get us more stone. What takes us to the hunting? We need movement or hunting. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I think we go back here. We go and build some fences because we know we're going to need them.
Okay. 1 stone.
Stone, wood gives
wood.
us 2 fences.
Okay.
That's the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need food as well. Let's push forward to the 5 for food. It'll go ahead and give us 2 food.
Okay. Better to do... Is it better? I guess, yeah. Than wasting wood trying to continue manipulating dice. I was thinking, like, should we use the 5 to go up to the movement, which would get us a stone, and then use the next 5 to go to the hunt, which would get us 2 food and 4 hide.
If we can hit a 4, which we could, I guess. Yeah, let's try it. I don't mind that. So spending 1 wood to move there, which is actually going to let us move. It'll get us a stone back. And then the next 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, we didn't even need to mitigate it.
No, to go fighting. We get 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. So we do have enough to go ahead and defeat the grizzly bear.
Yeah. Now we are in grizzly bear country. Grizzly bear is going to get us 2 food.
And 4 hide.
And 4 hide. We are good on hide now.
Yeah, the knife has helped out a lot.
I say we use 1 hide to just tick this up by 1 automatically.
And go heal.
We can even use it twice, and the 4 would get us 2 stars, and the 3 stars and heal to 5. I think we use another hide to take it up to 4. Now it's a strength 4 action.
But how's...
And now we can use any action at a 4 with 2 stars.
Oh, really? You don't have to move?
You don't have to move it.
Your
No,
person?
no. It said you don't move your
okay.
pull. So that's what I'm saying. Now, do we want to heal, or is it worthwhile to heal?
I think so.
So healing is the 4 would take it up to 2 stars. Then we have the bed, which takes it up to 3 stars. So we get 3 health back. I think that was beneficial.
Yep.
We can continue taking him up, by the way, with our hide if we continue hunting for food versus collecting food.
I mean, it might be a valuable way, now that we have the stone blade, it could be a valuable way to trigger some movement abilities or go ahead and let us craft the dog. So,
all right.
Okay.
So now we are going to eat a food. We are going to have weather, which is going to lose us a health because we did not build a rooftop, and then the raid is...
For the record, I do absolutely want to rip my braces out of my mouth right now. Your spring.
Congratulations.
Honey, it's horrible.
Focus.
I know, but they're sitting there watching me be like, I don't know how, my lip doesn't know how to work around my spring.
Raid is triggering. We're in bear country. It's going to lose us the 2 fences we worked so hard to build. So, and then all of these slide down. Day marker shifts. 10 is just the weather die increasing by 1, which was already at a 5. We're having raids. We're having weather this time. So that means we're losing 2 roofs and 2 fences.
So 4 health potentially.
4 health potentially if we don't do anything.
Okay. 4, 4, and a 3. It's okay.
3 is bad.
3's bad.
3 loses us a roof. It loses us 2 health off the bat.
I mean, do we want to re-roll everything? 4, 4, and a 3. The exact same
you're perfect.
rolling. You did the same exact thing with a 1.
I know. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Everything has to move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use the 4 first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Movement. A 4 is 2 stars. We are going to get a wood back. Now, do we want to move 3 or 4 ahead?
I was thinking potentially hunting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But 3 would save us 2 health, but we don't have any stone to do it.
3. We have no stone.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus a
1.
wood to move us forward.
Okay.
Hunt, which is going to get us 3.
Is that enough stars? The 4 is 2 stars. We have the
4 total. Yeah.
3, 4. Okay. So that gets us 2 food.
3 hide.
And 3 hide.
But let's go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3.
All those hide. And so that gives us a free 4 action.
Which we might use to heal. We'll see what this 3 can do for us. 1, 2, 3 would give us a food option.
I don't necessarily like the food option.
We need food, though, for the dog.
True.
So it's not bad to have.
We can also use it to move into dog space. With wood, manipulating. Or we can use it to craft. Is there anything else we want to craft
our whole objective right now is to make it to the southern tip and train a dog. We've got 1 more round to do that.
2 rounds. We have to do it in 12 days.
I know, but we're
actually doing decent. We're like a step away.
I don't think we need to craft anything.
We're gonna die, though. Remember, we're losing 4 health down here.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna potentially use this to do a heal action.
Do we want to do it twice? 2 heals? We have a max of 7 health.
So you're saying go 1, 2, 3, and then move back 1 with wood?
Yeah.
So then we do a 4 and a 3. 3 would get us...
I'm saying use a food to make the 3 into a 4 and have... Or, I don't know if
we don't need to.
need
we
that.
don't need to. Because
the 3
is going to be worth 2, and then the 4 is going to be worth 3, so it's going to go ahead and get us 5 more health.
And that's max
which
health.
will put us to max.
Good.
And then I think we'll survive the next cycle. So
okay.
Go ahead and do night.
Okay. Eat a food. And then we are going to lose 2 health for the blizzard. And we are going to lose 2 health for the lack of fences because the bears are coming. And then we are going to increase this up to day 11, which increases the weather die by 1 and the raid die by 2, which means we're going to be triggering bad weather again. We're going to be losing 4 health again. And this. Do you think we can end it this round?
I think there's a chance. Maybe.
A 1, 4, and a 5.
1 is...
Great.
Fine. It'll move the weather dice up by 2.
We're already in the max range.
It's already going to be at 6.
Okay.
So, we definitely need to move by 1. And we need to have 3 food total to train the dog.
Do you think we need to survive to the end of the round?
And we need a success of 3. I don't think so. I think once you've completed your objective, you've beat it. But I'm not sure. It might have a end condition there.
Let me check if it says it.
Alright, what's our puzzle? 1, 2, 3, 4. We could get stone. We could build fences. We could get food.
Complete all requirements within the time limit without dying.
I think we're going to go 4 backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't do anything with that, but we could craft if we wanted, which we're not going to do. We could just move this forward, which I think is what we're going to do. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm doing that because we need food to train the dog. That would give us 2 successes, which is going to give us 2 food. And then the 1 is going to allow us to do a single move forward, but we do need to get it to 1 star, so we're going to have to manipulate that with either a health or a food. We'll use a food to manipulate that, giving us the 1 star necessary to move down there into the bottom row. Then, if we spend 1, 2, we can move this up to a 4. And then we
with
have
our
a
crafting
ability that gives us a 3rd star, so we're going to trigger a 4 action.
We're in the doggy space, so
Yep.
we're going to spend 3 food.
3 food.
We're going to get a watchdog!
To go ahead and build ourselves.
What is a watchdog? What does he do?
At
the beginning of the evening phase, when the value of the raid dice is 5 or 6, you may spend 1 food to gain a fence.
Oh, cool.
That's nice.
So it gives you a single...
Not that we have any food to...
Yeah, you feed the dog, and he sits out there next to the...
It's like, I'll be your fence for you.
He's like, I'll bark at them. I'll scare them. They're going to steal a little bit, but...
Not as much.
Not as much. We'll defend the territory. There you are. That's level 3 of Dieson Crusoe.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we would have lost individually. This is why you always play solo games with 2 people.
It is my favorite way to play it. Like, either something shiny, like any solo game, as long as you're keeping me company and talking me through it.
I like the back and forth narrative, and I like being able to blame someone else when things don't go right.
And you like having a break from your races of talking.
I
can't stand them.
They're always pressing up against my lip there, which is very, very frustrating. Monday, they're gonna get ripped out of my mouth.
Just to show them the other characters, Pathfinder would increase your movement. You would always have 1 star.
Yeah.
And Hunter increases your hunting ability. There's also hard mode where you flip them over and you have less stars. Pathfinder looks like the same on both sides, but Hunter and Craftsman on the darker side, you have only 4 hearts.
So this is a gameplay and a final thought. So this is a final thought section of the video. Please keep in mind we are doing a sponsored piece of content for the solo board games of the month series. So we're going to do it in Rado style, where we don't review the game, but we let you know our general overview, first impressions, and thoughts of the experience. So this is going along with 12 other games. You want to hand me the case?
I like the case. The case, when you got it, I was like, what movie? VHS? Yeah, I grew up with VHSs.
12 other small solo games that are all going to be in VHS cases that all will match on the shelf. Yeah. And one of the things I think and I believe when it comes to small games is that it's not always about the individual game. It's sometimes about the collection of games you have. So something like Final Girl, for instance. That's not one game. That is dozens of games.
Mix and match.
All mixed and matched, all giving you different ways to play an experience. Well, the same thing here with the Game of the Month series. This is one of the various different solo puzzles you'll have that you're going to be familiar with, that you're going to be able to open up, that you're going to be able to play. I like this one a lot. I've played a lot of Friday. Friday is the Robinson Crusoe. You're building a deck of cards. You're doing your best to survive as multiple actions and enemies come out into the deck. And I think right now my gut check is that I like the puzzle here more than I like the puzzle in Friday. Specifically because I like the dice mitigation and the manipulation. I like that this game gives you a decent amount of control over what's happening. Like the weather dice mechanic here I think is really smart. I know when I'm setting myself up for a bad play, so the game never makes me feel like it's being mean to me. Whereas in Friday, every now and then, like, you're drawing through a stack of cards and the game just brutalizes you. And that's okay, but this never really does that, other than these actions sometimes, and even there, it's not too terrible. So I like the pathways. I'm interested to see once solo players get it into their hands and they start making, more quests and more challenges and doing cool things with the game.
That's what I was going to touch upon. I think the variability can be increased dramatically very easily. All you need to do is put out a Season 2 quest pack. Like, it is very easy to make different quests and different combinations of different goals and time frames.
Well, the solo community also will be doing cool things with items and coming up with more areas where the game can expand, even beyond what you get in the package. And I think what you get in the package here is really compelling.
And honestly, there's versions where they can send out a new map of like a new island. Like it's a totally separate island, and then the whole game changes. So I really did. I like the areas. I like how the areas are thematic based on what animal you're hunting yields you the different amounts of food or hide. There's scary things. There's this bull, a manhunter, and a wolf that are just absolutely terrifying, but they yield you different things. Like one of them yields you even wood at one point, which is really cool. I did like the items with the crafting. I like having goals and like almost like set collection for me, or like building up my resources to then really get really cool things, which then augment my abilities. So I did enjoy that part as well. The rondel system, I liked having to count my dice. and mitigate my dice. But like you said, I liked having that mitigation. I liked being able to spend the food to increase the die temporarily, using wood and using your health to move it back and forth and shift it, because sometimes those dice just don't work. And as you saw with our re-rolling capabilities, we have none.
Yeah, the one thing that I think I want from this game, and it would only be due to the nature of what it is it's a small box solo game, so I want more of it. But how do you get more of a game? Well, you have people support it, and you have fans of it, and you either have them be created by the fans of the game in and of itself, or the publisher comes back and reinvests. I mean, this is already, I believe, a published game over in the Asian market.
Yep, that's what you said.
And so the designers, the creators, like, this is being brought over here to the States for the very first time, but it is a game that has already been successful, already has garnered some attention, and has a fan base in a non-English speaking game market. And so I'm excited to see it available. I'm excited to get to the table more. I want to take on the heavier and harder quests. So
I'm terrified. You have to build the raft. You see how many resources you need to build that raft? That raft is like your end game goal. The last quest is going to be escape.
Very violent in this. I think there's a lot of different ways you could play through. And you could even add challenge to yourself by playing on hard mode or limiting the things that you're going to build. You'd be like, this last time I won this scenario by building the stone knife. We're going to do it without the stone knife.
Well, the rulebook actually recommends 2 different hard mode scenarios. So there's one tool that we left out because we started with a friend in play, but you can actually build your friend. So you can make your friend,
and then you wouldn't know which one you get.
You get a choice.
Yeah.
You either get a choice, or you can make it random. And so some of them increase the stars that you get. Some of them just give you resources when you hit that certain threshold. I chose the one with the dice because I thought that was really cool to give away extra actions. Which, if we did not have Tom, we would have had to go into that last round. We would have not been prepared.
We would have had one spare action, possibly. That's it. I'm saying if everything went perfectly and we didn't have Tom, we would have had, in this last round,
maybe one, but we didn't have enough health to get to the last round.
Yeah.
We were going to be losing 4 health.
Oh no, none here.
2 health here.
Yeah.
And we had no food, so that was 1 health there.
You're right. We potentially would have died.
So, as I'm saying, Tom saved us.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to Tom. So the hard modes are, you can play without, you have to build your friend in the game, or you can play with less health, which, as you see, health is just another resource as well.
Yeah. Cool. There you go. There's a gameplay and first impressions / final thoughts of Dieson Crusoe. Keep an eye out. I think leave a comment down below if you've watched to this point. Do you want me to put out a teaching video, like a how to play video, an instructional, since this is a finished game? One of the things they're doing with the solo game of the month is they have them all
ready to go.
More or less done and ready to go. So they're going to start production right after this.
Are they shipping them out one by one, or are they going to wait to the end of the year and then ship them out in collection?
I think they're going to be shipping it out one by one, and the way that they're doing it is every month they're launching, funding, and then putting the purchase order in for the number that
cool.
people have backed. And so you can be part of the campaign, you can follow along with all the other things. You can get them all, you can get individual games, whatever you and your family want to back. But yeah, let me know. You want me to put out a preview, an overview, another gameplay? I haven't quite decided what the official piece of content will be. This is the first night when we're getting it out, getting it open, getting it to the table, and figuring out how to play it ourselves. And we enjoyed the first playthrough, so we thought we'd go ahead and hit record and film this one. All right. Whatever the case, though, whatever you do,
remember to do.
Don't get braces. Don't do it. They're horrible. They're the worst. They're horrible.
Befriend Tom. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.